Greetings, I would like to welcome you in the fourth installation of a tutorial on how to apply Shadowlands to rapid loading items. There were some previous mistakes in like first version that I'm not going to repeat right now, so I hope it's all fixed by now and thus we can start. First of all, we have what does the MPQ actually contains and the other folders. So here is the list. I should actually write in the one last item, that is the client item.7z that we are going to work with in a moment. First of all, item sequel, DBC, patch S, patch O, and the client item all in here, so you can grab it. First of all, once we download everything, the usage says copy the patch S and O to the data folder, so you can pick up patch S and O, copy them, and slap them into the data folder of your WoW that is in here. Right now I'm in the data folder. You can see that there is the WoW exe and there is the data of the WoW, so you will be supposed to copy the patches in here. When that's done, you can move to step 2. That involves opening the client item that will look like this once you open it, and it will contain the DBC to CSV and the DBC util that is in here. So you can go to the DB files, copy the item DBC, copy it in here, and drag and drop it on DBC utils. Right now it will be generating the item dbc.csv. That's pretty much needed for the next step. When that's done, here is the item dbc csv as it says the tutorial. And now what you need to do with it is opening the item dbc to db, that is one folder ahead, item dbc to db, because we need to transfer the data into your item database so you can actually use it in the server. Host is your IP of your server. For me it's a local one, so it's this one. As for login, I think it's root, and the password should be the password of my account, which is Ascent, I think. You will basically need to insert your login in essentials of your own server. World database. Here the preset says world, but when I open my Navicat I can see how is my world database named. It's Trinity World. So you will have to use this name, Trinity _world. Item template is pretty much named the same way. It's in here. Port is 3306, which is pretty much same. You can test the connection, it should be successful if you've entered everything correctly. And now you can select the item dbc to csv that I have put in here. I will copy the path, insert it. Yep, it's in there, and insert the data. This will take a while. At least 10 seconds for sure, maybe longer, because right now it's processing the whole DBC file that has around 100,000 records, which is a lot of data to process. And it's as well inserting these data into the database. I can close this thing right now. We will need to use Navigat in the next step, because when that's all done, you will need to apply item sequel on item template in your database. Item sequel is presented right here. All it does is that it updates the in item template stuff for the entry, and entries and other data are being inserted right now. Everything was successfully done. Okay, we can close this one. I'm not going to need this as well. And right now we can move to the third step in here. So here is my navigate. I'm sorry, I cannot provide you any tutorial for like ADCQL, YoxCQL or whatever is there, because I'm not simply using these. I'm used to do it in navigate, so you will need to find your own way. But in navigate, it's extremely simple. Just pick up the item CQL and drop it on Trinity World. It will ask you how you want to execute the item. You can pretty much say stuff right from the top, and it's going to process all the queries. There it is. 98,000 successfully executed. You can close the database, and now you will need to copy all the DBCs to the server. So my test server is right now residing somewhere in here, and there is a DBC folder, so I could just go and copy all the DBC files in there. As you can see, they are here. And last step is restarting your server. So bring up the server and restart it. This will take a while as well. When it's done, you should be able to enjoy the 3D models of Shadowlands and all the items and display IDs as well, even with the ground effects that are in there. We can also go to the navigate and check how it's done here. So let's go for a mistake. There is the item world. There is going to be the item template. And here we are. We can sort it as well. There we go. Here are all the items. You can see that here is the Syntope Stormtroopers, for example. Let's go and check it on Wowhead. Wowhead, item equals 184217 Syntone Stumpers. There we go. These items you are actually seeing here that says like DBC to DB generated item. These are the items that had no real name in database of Blizzard, or the item did not exist at all and it was regenerated. If it has the item display 0, it's probably item that is used for like a quest or something and is not really named, so you don't need to worry about these, and you are basically allowed to also delete them if they're like literally display 0. So if DBC generated name and display ID 0, you can pretty much delete those. But there are some interesting that are actually generated and don't have 0, so I can copy this one and maybe apply a filter. If the name is equal to, and if display ID is not equal to 0, let's apply the filter. There we go. Here we have like 4,000 items that have been present in the item DBC, but not as an item in the real game, which means these items were presented as an IDs for creatures, for example, and never been available to players at all. So these IDs are mostly weapons that creatures do wear, but they were never intended for a player at all. So I can, for example, copy the item ID and let's check in game how does it looks like and see what's been added. These weapons are mostly like bosses' weapons or creatures that wear something special that is not meant for players. For example, if I recall correctly, in the Hellfire Peninsula there is a raid. I think it's Macteridon who is in here, and if you kill him, or maybe Manoroth, one of the two, or maybe some other Pit Lord, if you kill him, he will never drop you the stuff that he's wearing, but with the usage of this tool, we are able to actually get it. And I think some Argent Dawn NPCs were using shields that were never available to players as well. Well, now they will be, because there is like almost 5,000 new items that were never public at all. Creatures public. Okay, the loading is taking a bit while because right now I'm using my disk a lot with the recording and stuff. So sorry for the waiting. Okay, here I am. Let's add the item, and there it is. It's been added to my bag. So many items. Here it is. It's a staff. Yeah, and here you can see. This display ID is actually used for an item that is already used for another item that players do have, but we can try other one. There we go. One hand. And I'm not sure what it is. Oh, it's just a potion. Okay, interesting. Let's try some of the higher IDs. I'm interested in those. Oh, okay, some sword. Looks like a Orc Blade Master sword or something. Let's try this one. Another staff. Okay. This I have no idea what it is right now, to be honest. The ID is so big that I assume it's something from the at least Legion, but possibly BFA. And I've never seen it, honestly, so I can't say if it's used for someone or not. Let's try something lower, 50,000, that looks like a bad Bleach King. Okay, these are legs. And those I cannot wear right now, so I will need to take this down. Reload. And yeah, not sure what it is as well. Let's try something else. One last item. There we go. Another mail. You will have to browse through it. I'm sure you will find a lot of interesting stuff. And see you soon.